This is PNE Pod, the official podcast of the one and only Preston North End Football Club. My name's Niall, joined by Neil Mellor, former Deepdale striker. And today we've been speaking, Mells, to a general legend of British football, a proper legend of British football, Stuart McCall.
Yeah,
what a guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Household name. People will know what a career he had as a player, as experiences as a manager, been around the game a long time because he played with my dad at Bradford and I played against him as a player as well. Not many players that have had that, and I wouldn't say experience in terms of its longevity. He has had longevity at a very, very high level in the game.
When you think about what he's achieved, the trophies he's won, the games he's played in, the players he's played with and against, to now be the assistant manager of Preston North End alongside Paul Heckingbottom, that must be such a wealth of knowledge to draw upon, to impart to the current group of PNE lads.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he knows the game. He's been a fantastic player. He's clearly a very, very good coach as well. And that's to the benefit of Preston North End, to the players who get to work with somebody like that and get to listen, to what he has experienced, to help these young players, to some of the senior lads in the team as well, to fulfil the talents they have.
Got a question for you. Have you ever fallen off the top of a minibus with a can of beer in your hand?
Classic video. If you've not seen it, please see it. Absolutely brilliant. He opens up on that one. It was a brilliant moment.
I mean, this is from the highs as well to the lows. I mean, there have been peaks and troughs in his career. Any footballer will go through that. But, to hear his experiences of the good times and the not so good times as well, I think puts what being a professional footballer is into perspective.
Yeah. I mean, he's seen tragedy, which nobody wants to, but he has. He's scored in a cup final, 2 goals, which everyone wants, but lost in that. He's won major trophies.
You had to get that in there, didn't you?
Had to get it in. He's scored. He's played in the World Cup. He's played in the Euros. He's scored for his country. Some of the players he's played with, some of the players he's played against, the managers he's been around. Just fascinating.
Listen, we could have chatted to him for absolutely ages, but without further ado, let's get into our conversation with PNE Assistant Manager Stuart McCall. Welcome to another episode of the official Preston North End podcast, PNE Pod. My name's Niall McCall, joined by former Deepdale striker Neil Mellor. Now, we've spoken to the gaffer, Mells. Now we've got the assistant gaffer joining us today. Stuart McCall, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Now, I wanted to just get this right. We call you Stuart McCall. Is your real name actually Andrew?
Don't go in, it's such a long story. No, I was christened originally Andrew Stuart Murray McCall. My mum had sent my dad down just to put Stuart and he put his own name in front of it. So that's hence going
so
back,
you actually
back
are
to 1964.
Stuart,
originally I was,
so.
And then we lost my birth certificate. And then years after, when I had to get a new one, my mum just put Stuart on it. So I'm Stuart, yeah.
I didn't know that. Did anyone in football know that or not?
Just a couple of people.
All the PNE fans know that now.
Yeah.
Everyone will still be calling you Stuart.
Yeah.
How have you found your time at North End so far since you've been here?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've loved being part of it and the club's been terrific. Obviously, we'd like to have been a little bit more consistent football-wise, results-wise. But really enjoyed it. The people behind the scenes, all the staff, the supporters have been brilliant to myself and Paul since we've came in, and the lads have got on board for what we're really after. So yeah, we could have done with a little bit more. Like all managers and coaches, we think we should have had more points than we've got. But I think I'd like to think I'm fairly honest in the appraisal of what's been going on, and we possibly could have been up there a little bit nearer. The teams that are sitting with maybe 41, 42 points at this moment in time and been real close to it. But we're still chipping away. Long way to go still. So it's all to play for.
You would have come across Preston quite a few times, playing, managing. Did you have any sort of memories of Preston before coming and joining the club as a coach?
Yeah, I think probably... Certainly football-wise, I remember coming here when it was a plastic pitch. So you guys probably won't even remember that.
We've heard lots of stories about the plastic pitch on this show.
We came. It was when we were flying, so it must have been 84, I think. We came in, we won 4-1, and I remember it because my pal's John Hendry's 21st birthday, and because we won 4-1, we went back to Bradford and a right good night. I remember that. But I remember playing up plastic here, and then I remember coming a few years ago. and having the honour to sit next to David Moyes' dad, actually. I was coming doing a bit of scouting for Sheffield United when I worked with Neil at Sheffield United, and I sat next to Mr Moyes Senior, and I don't think we watched the game, we just talked football all the way through it. Preston v Wolves it was, because we were both looking, doing a bit of scouting. I think Mr Moyes was looking at somebody, for David had gone to Everton by now. And they ended up taking the centre half, and we ended up taking. I think they took Lescott from Wolves, and we took Claude Davis from Preston. So that we were both watching centre halves that day.
So you can multitask then. You can have a chat and pick out a half decent player.
It was, yeah. I remember it was really good hospitality, and it was a nice day. So I've been back a couple of times in, scouting and watching, teams and players, but. Once you're actually into it, the training ground's very good. We're happy with that, and obviously the stadium's a proper football stadium, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the plastic pitch anymore, but we've spoken about this loads, Mels, haven't we? How much the ground has changed since when you were probably a player to now. Yeah. It's just gone through a massive change, hasn't it? I mean, even when you were playing, it was still.
Yeah. I mean, the boys were saying that they'd wear like special tights and stuff like that, weren't they, to play when it was the plastic pitch?
Yeah, definitely.
Back in the day.
Grass burns and everything all the time. I remember you go to bed at night and it's all stuck to you, but you guys won't remember all that, the rough and tumble of the plastic pitches, but I don't think they had it long, did they? I don't think Preston had it too long.
A few years, I think it
was,
wasn't it?
A few years.
Too many years.
Yeah, too many. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your relationship with the gaffer, Hecky, who's been on PNE Pod this season. Is it right you actually managed him, and now you're calling him gaffer in a strange way?
Yeah.
What's that relationship like? How have you gone with him over the years?
I had Paul. I think when I joined Bradford, he'd been on loan from Sheffield Wednesday, and when I joined fully, I liked what I saw. He was coming to the end of his career. He did finish quite early because of injury, but I had him for about 12 months, I think it was. And just a good professional, really. It was unfortunate his career was cut slightly short with a couple of injuries. And then thereafter that, I'd say we kept in touch a lot. When he moved around the coach, especially when he went to Hibs, I knew a few people up there, and he'd drop me a text or things like that. But I've got to say, it was out of the blue. I was, I better not say this, I was doing some coaching at a club not far from here, I think, and I got a call right out of the blue. I'd only been there at Blackpool for 4 months, and I got a call out of the blue from Paul, a missed call actually. And I remember saying to my wife, because I didn't even know Paul was at the academy at Sheffield United. I thought I didn't know what he was doing. But I saw the Barnsley job had come up, and I thought maybe he's just ringing me to ask me, should he go for it, or a bit of advice, or on a player. And it was to say, I'm going in at Sheffield United, would you come and be my assistant manager? And I thought, I mean, I knew I'd been at Sheffield for 5 years previously. And, big club, had a good squad of players. So it was a no-brainer. And, I met him for a coffee, just chatted through, and it was just normal, really.
He says you don't always agree on stuff, but actually, as a football fan, I think that's quite refreshing to hear that. I think it would be strange if two passionate, competitive people always agreed on the same things all the time. I think it's important that you do have a mix of opinions, because I think that's what drives things forward. Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing, actually, if you look at the stats. Every game we've won this season, I've picked the side. And every game we've lost, he's picked it. So we do have differing opinions, But yes, we do. Of course you do, You're not like any assistant. I've managed for a long time, and I won't want my assistant just to be a yes man saying yeah. But as much as we have at times different, I would say 90% of the time, we're both aligned with the same principles, how we want to play, the environment we want to create, what we expect from training as much as playing. I have always emphasised to anyone, when years back when a manager, people say, I didn't get a chance. Well, players get a chance every day, whether it's walking through the door, whether it's eating the breakfast, it's how they behave in the gym, how they warm up, how they train, how they play, how they come on as a sub, whatever it may be. You're getting a chance every day. And then when you do actually get a chance to be on the grass, you've got to make sure you prepare fully to be ready to go. So, we do have different opinions of... Not so much, certainly not playing style or tactics. Maybe certain individuals who should play, who shouldn't play, but I think that's normal.
What's your input like with the training? Are you taking a lot of the training?
Yeah, I've got to say, I mean, that's when I enjoy myself at best, even when I was a manager. You know, all the other stuff, which you've got to do is fine, but being on the grass and working with players and being in the dressing room is what probably excites me, and you know, I've got an enthusiasm for that. So
can you still join in?
Well, believe it or not, I had a full knee op probably about 18 months ago, and for the first 12 months it wasn't really a success, but it's got better now, so I do a little bit, but I'm just frightened I might get selected in the team, you know. No, I'm only kidding. But yeah, I like you know, all ex-players, I like to join in the little circles that we have and that, as does Paul, to be honest. And yeah, so it's been really good since we've been here, but we do have different opinions. But like I say, I think on the majority of the you know, the meaty issues of, you know, how we should go about things, we're pretty much definitely aligned.
How difficult is the Championship as a league? Because as a manager and as a player, you've experienced pretty much the full range of professional football in this country.
Yeah.
So the Championship as it stands right now, we know it's tough. Just how hard is it?
Yeah, it's just getting that consistency in it. You know, I think, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, at the minute, we were looking at the injury board the other day, and I think we only had one person on it. I think we've got 8 people on it now. So I think when games come thick and fast, if you've got a full squad, you've just got to deal with it, you know. And
is that the hardest challenge as a coaching team to get?
I would think so. When you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, but I think, you know, Neil probably say, when you're a player, you live for playing. You know what I mean? Training's great. You've obviously got to train, but somebody said to me, you've got a game Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. You know, as a player, you won't go. But as a manager and as a coach, it gives you obviously less time to prepare for certain things. So it's nice to get, you know, a Saturday to Saturday and get a break in that regard. But yeah, it can be. But listen, football's football. If you don't enjoy playing and preparing for games, but you know what you're coming into when you're coming into Championship. You know the amount of games, how 1 week. I mean, this season, to be fair, the 4 teams at the top. I watched Sunderland Middlesbrough the other night. I was really impressed with Sunderland. You know, are away, and then you've got a little clutch after it, aiming for the 5th and 6th, haven't you? You know, I say we're a little bit disappointed we hadn't accumulated more points than that would put us. But you know, you never know in football. We just got to crack on and get to where we can. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's difficult and tough, because that's what you're in football for. It's a challenge. We'll put it as challenging, isn't it?
What about some of the games you've enjoyed this season? I mean, the first one was great, wasn't it? The one against Luton, straight away, up and running.
It was. I mean, when you come in, first and foremost, you just want to win. I mean, I don't think we played brilliant, but I think if you look at what had gone on previously, what I mean by the results, I think they finished at the end of the season, hadn't won for a wee while. Obviously, the first 2 games didn't win, didn't score. So just to nick, and we nicked a 1-0, really, let's be honest. But it was nice to get a clean sheet, nice to win.
Neil Mellor scored. Preston take the lead. And that's exactly what it means to Neil Mellor to score in the West Lancashire derby.